Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to NewsTalk New England for the post-game report. We are here live at Polar Park for Chris Sale Day. Unfortunately, it wasn't Chris Sale's go-around this time, but hopefully next time he'll get the go-around as they go out into Norfolk, Virginia next week. So, Stephen, let me get your thoughts on this game.
Well, like we were talking about, former Boston Red Sox pitcher Chris Sale was here for a rehab assignment for the Worcester Red Sox as they took on the Scranton Rail Riders. And unfortunately, it was a very shaky start from the get-go. He gave up 2 walks in the first inning. He eventually did calm down, but he wound up giving up bases loaded walk, which let them tie the game at 1, and that was basically the end for him after just 3 2/3 innings pitched in this game.
Like I said from the pregame show, it's looking like Chris Sale's at that point of view where it's like he's like just playing on his thin ice. Like it's like, I don't know, he's at that age where he's still young, but he's not playing where he's supposed to be playing. Like even tonight, he didn't look like himself. He didn't look like the Chris Sale that played 2 years ago in Boston. His arm is not strong no more.
Yeah, you definitely could tell he didn't have that
consistency
going on.
I think they said he threw 72 pitches and 42 of them were strikes.
Correct, yep.
So that's kind of low for a Chris Sale, and the type of money that the Red Sox is paying him, that's pretty low.
Yeah, especially.
And I know he's hurt and all, but it's getting to a point where you can't pay that type of money to Chris Sale and him not even start a game in 2 years for the Red Sox.
Yeah, and even speaking about Chris Sale's pitching numbers, you saw today it was his second start for the rehab program, and they wanted to keep his pitching numbers under 50 to 60 pitches, but it did go over 72 pitches, and they did want to see if he can get that out on the fourth inning, but unfortunately, it didn't go his way, and unfortunately they had to take him out of the game because they didn't want to go over that pitch.
About that, what a terrible call by the umpire. Terrible call. That ball was right down the middle.
Listen, you saw a lot of fans' reaction on that.
That should have been a strike. And I see, just by being in the DCU club, I seen Chris Sale, the way he walked off the mound, that he was frustrated because that should have been a strike.
Oh, definitely. You could definitely tell the way he walked off after that miscalled strike 3 count there. He was upset. You saw how he caught the ball even with his bare hand. And then once he saw Chad Tracy come out, he knew that it was over for him, and he just wanted to finish that next batter up, or even maybe try to possibly start the next inning to get that one batter. But unfortunately, it wasn't his go-around, and they just had to take him out to definitely, like I said, keep those pitch counts up. But also he's in that rehab program, so you don't want to re-injure his arm or anything like that. So they definitely got to keep his pitch count low.
Yeah, you guys talked about his last rehab was with the Portland Sea Dogs, I believe their name is, and he was coming out here to Worcester to see if he could improve after that AAA start. He's now here with the Worcester Red Sox looking to get back to Boston, but I think we're going to see more of him here in Worcester, or maybe even go back to Portland. He's not ready to go back to the Boston Red Sox as of right now. That's absolutely sure.
He's not 100% ready to go back to Boston, as much as Boston needs him because their bullpen's struggling, but I don't think he's ready. I don't even think he's ready to play in Worcester. I think you'll see him probably more in Portland, but in Worcester, he'll probably play in Norfolk, but I think we'll see him more here and in Portland.
I would have to agree with you on that, Jamai. I definitely see him taking probably maybe 1, 2, 3 more starts here in the AAA for the Worcester Red Sox before possibly coming up. And it's funny that you mentioned that because one thing, there was a quote that was going around for Alex Cora. He was actually joking around with the media. They were actually saying that Chris Sale could have been an option today to pitch for the Red Sox, but Alex Cora didn't think he was ready. But Chris Sale did tell him, he's feeling good, his arm's good, he's throwing good, but they just wanted to see a little more if he can, keep that proven going on for the progression. But, unfortunately, Chris Sale started here, and then Brian Biello got the call up today to start about it. So let's talk about Brian a little bit.
Yeah, Brian Biello got a start for the Boston Red Sox, and like Chris Sale, who came here to Worcester, it just wasn't his game as the Boston Red Sox fell tonight to the Tampa Bay Rays, and Bello did not have the best performance in Fenway.
I think for Bello, the MLB is different than playing out here. It's a lot easier out here. When you go up to the Monster, it's harder. It's faster. It's harder.
The field's much
The
bigger.
field's much
Yes.
bigger.
Yeah.
And I think right now, like, I think Bello's a good player, but I don't think he's ready for the Monster.
I feel, being it's his first start, he's definitely a young prospect and a rising star. He probably was nervous on the mound today, and you are going to get that from someone who's in the MLB debut, a rookie starting on his first pitch against, Tampa Bay Rays and for the Worcester Red Sox.
Yeah, divisional. It's a divisional game.
Yeah.
So yeah. So he probably was scared.
He definitely
his
felt the
first.
nerves. He
Oh
definitely
yeah.
did.
I'm sure he did.
Yeah, I mean, getting called up for what today, and then
No,
having
he got called up, I believe.
yesterday.
Yesterday.
It was
the day
yes,
before.
no, it's
Day-
2 days
it was
before.
2 days
I believe.
before.
I
we got
mean,
the news.
I don't even.
Monday.
I don't
Monday
even.
Monday he got
up.
called
It
up
doesn't
after
even.
the
It doesn't
Blue
even
Sox
matter when he gets called up. Probably just stepping into Fenway Park, like looking at the Green Monster, like, wow,
Yeah.
I'm really about to play in Fenway Park.
Yeah. When we were talking to Chad Tracy earlier at the post-game press conference, he actually said, it wasn't Bello's outing, the start that they wanted, but he was very proud of him, and he really deserved it, especially seeing how he progressed from just all the different league stuff, from the single A to playing in Portland now to playing triple A in Worcester. So now for him to play in Boston and be a starter, that's definitely a big achievement for him and a lifelong accomplishment for sure.
I think you'll see him more in Boston. You'll see him. He's gonna be like one of those players where 1 week you'll see him in Worcester, and then when the Red Sox do need him, they'll call him up. It's kind of like Jared Durant, where he's constantly moving back and forth. Where 1 minute he'll be in Worcester, then the next minute he'll be in Boston.
Yeah.
Now getting back to Chris Sale, guys, I did want to mention he did give up 5 hits in 3 2/3 innings pitched, but he only gave up the 1 run, so it wasn't like he had a terrible performance today against the Rail Raiders or whatever. He had a pretty decent performance, but the fact is his pitching, I did see a little struggle in there, so maybe we already talked about it, and we did talk about it. Jamai talked about it. The umpires, the controversy with the umpires, that bases loaded, the ball 4 that everybody thought in the DCU club down here on the field, they thought it was a strike, and that was pretty much what cost him the rest of this game.
Yeah. Well, all right, guys, you heard it here, folks, from Polar Park. I am Jonathan Burgos.
I'm Jamai Ofori.
And I'm Stephen Err.
Thank you
And
for tuning into our post game. And before we actually sign
Tonight
off,
was bobblehead night for Tate Matheny, and it's of him catching the Chris Sale saving home run from last season when Chris Sale was here
yeah,
in a
It'll be the
sellout
last-
game.
it would be the last time that Chris Sale and Matheny actually touched the field and played together last year before he actually retired.
Yeah.
So, yeah, folks, from Polar Park, NewsTalk New England, thank you for tuning in. Have a good night.